about it and worried about how we're going to be able to make ends meet at the end of the day.
Across the West, consumers trying to make sense of President Trump's abrupt pause on reciprocal tariffs for most countries. Wall Street rebounding today, but uncertainty lingers.
Nothing's over yet, but we have a tremendous amount of spirit from other countries, including China.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. President Trump may have backed off on tariffs for most countries for 90 days, but he's now planning for a 125% tax on imports from China. Today's announcement about a tariff pause from the president provided some relief on Wall Street, though, after days of sell-offs. Here's how the markets fared today. The Dow ended the day up 2,962 points. The Nasdaq jumped 1,857 points, and the S&P 500 gained 474 points during the session. Today, President Trump acknowledged his trade war has a lot of people worried all around the world.
That people were jumping a little bit out of line. They were getting yippy, They were getting a little bit yippy, a little bit afraid. A deal's going to be made with China. A deal's going to be made with every one of them. And there'll be fair deals. I just want fair.
Critics say the pause on tariffs is a sign the White House understands the policy needs to change.
Make it clear, let's be clear. Donald Trump is feeling the heat from Democrats and across America about how bad these tariffs are. He is reeling, he is retreating, and that is a good thing.
Now, some consumers say the back and forth with President Trump's tariff policy is lending itself to a feeling of uncertainty about the economy.
I think it's terrifying for our socioeconomic, genre, but it is really terrifying for people that are, just kind of living on the edge right now.
Kim O'Donnell is a staging business owner in the Seattle area. She was stocking her business with items from a consignment store today. The store's owner thinks he may see a boost in business as people work to avoid price hikes because of the tariffs.
Here, you're not going to find the same thing twice. So I think that we have that ability to consistently shift stock and not have to worry about ordering expensive tariffs just because of our business model. So I think we're in a good, unique position that we might increase in traffic just because of what we do.
And we continue our coverage tonight with Fox 10's Ashley Rodriguez, who spoke with shoppers and consumer experts in the Southwest about what they're stocking up on right now so they won't be forced to pay more later.
We had to take the medicine, but it had to be done.
News that President Trump ordered a 90-day pause on tariffs, except for China, now increased to 125%, is sending shockwaves through social media.
As we speak, massive tariffs are about to hit imports from China like a tidal wave.
So let's talk about what's going to happen.
Number one, stock up now, particularly on things like tools, electronics, vehicle parts, and even food.
Consumers across the country are trying to figure out ways to prepare for everyday items they rely on to suddenly skyrocket in cost.
Definitely worried about it and worried about how we're going to be able to make ends meet at the end of the day.
We are just kind of trying to get by. Our rent is already expensive.
I feel like everybody's head is spinning.
My head has been spinning since January 20th.
I spoke to Wallet Hub analyst Chip Lupo, who could break down exactly what items will be most affected.
But even with a big ticket item, I think we're good for the short term because these tariffs are only going to apply to newly imported items. So any existing inventory in U.S. warehouses, that's going to hold steady for a few weeks.
Over the next few weeks, if you need air conditioning units, smartphones, TVs, laptops, games, consoles, small appliances, baby items, furniture, clothing.
Coffee, that's the one that's hitting me the hardest right now.
Vietnamese-made sneakers like Nikes could rise from $140 to $170. iPhones could jump from a base level of $599 to over $850, or from $1,599 to $2,300 for an iPhone 16 Pro Plus. A Budget Lab analysis found that Americans could pay $4,200 more per year due to the tariffs.
Within the next week or so, we're definitely going to be up buying on some items.
And that was Fox 10's Ashley Rodriguez reporting for us tonight from Arizona. To stay on top of the latest updates in this ongoing trade war, head to our website, westcoastwrap.com. Our online coverage there includes a breakdown of U.S. imports that are sent to this country from China. Law enforcement sources say a Southern California youth soccer coach charged with the murder of a 13-year-old boy is here in the United States illegally from El Salvador. Mario Edgardo Garcia Aquino is accused of killing Oscar Omar Hernandez. The boy took a train to Lancaster to visit the coach. His parents reported him missing on March 30th when he failed to return. Authorities say the boy's body was found on the side of a road in Oxnard 5 days after he was killed.
Why did he have to kill him? The pain of losing a child is so great. I would never wish it on anyone.
The Los Angeles County District Attorney says Garcia Aquino is also charged with sexual offenses against 2 other teenage boys in 2022 and 2024. In the more recent case, authorities say the coach befriended the boy's family and they allowed their son to stay with him at his home. They later told police that the boy had been sexually abused, but no charges were filed. Authorities in Oregon say they are learning more tonight about a mother and her 3 children who were all found dead. Their bodies were discovered yesterday inside a home in Cornelius, outside of Portland. The mother was 37 years old. The children's ages range from 2 to 7. Fox 12's Leslie Dominique spoke with neighbors who say this loss has left the community devastated.
This is pretty hard.
Tuesday afternoon in Cornelius, a 37-year-old woman and her 3 children were found dead in a building adjacent to this orange home on North 15th Avenue. The Washington County Sheriff's Office says they responded to the scene around 3 p.m. after a 911 call.
It was a call from somebody that came by the residence and then discovered the bodies.
The Sheriff's Office confirms that the children who lost their lives were ages 2, 5, and 7 years old. Neighbors say the older 2 attended Cornelius Elementary, only steps away from their home.
Seeing the kids happily playing, and every now and then they come down the driveway. The mom taking them to school back and forth every day seemed like a very nice routine, and another family just in the neighborhood.
Neighbor Casey Dennis recalls a fire breaking out at the family home months ago that he says cut off their electricity. Although this community is described as tight-knit, neighbors say the victims were isolated due to a language barrier.
Even though they weren't really a part of normal communications with the rest of the neighborhood, they are a part of it. The little ones were very friendly and would always say hello and wave. They had pretty bright smiling faces. I remember, and I will remember.
And that was Fox 12's Leslie Dominique reporting tonight. Authorities in Oregon are at this point calling this a death investigation, and so far no arrests have been made. The Lori Vallow Daybell murder conspiracy trial resumed today in Phoenix. The convicted killer and so-called Doomsday mom is accused of conspiring to kill her then-husband Charles Vallow. This morning, a woman testified about going on a date with Charles Vallow the night before he was shot and killed in July of 2019. During cross-examination, Lori Daybell, who is representing herself, asked the woman if she knew that Vallow was married. The woman said that he told her that he was separated. Well, this was a monumental day for fire victims in Southern California. For the first time since January's firestorm, we're seeing rebuilding construction happening in Pacific Palisades. Fox 11's Matthew Seedorf spoke with neighbors who say they want to see more of this happening sooner rather than later.
Sounds of progress in Pacific Palisades. Construction starting for the first time on a home destroyed by the deadly Palisades fire. What was the key to getting to this point so quickly?
Finding a good team.
The Lopes family relied on their builder to get plans approved in 3 weeks.
We just didn't let time pass us by.
Paying the city about $6,000 for permits.
I think the city will hopefully make some adjustments to the permit fees soon. I certainly think they should be lowered or, completely removed from the process.
16,000 buildings burned down between the Palisades and Eaton fires 3 months ago.
So far, we have issued 10 permits.
As of this virtual meeting Saturday, only 10 permits approved for construction in the Palisades, while in Altadena that number is just 1.
Los Angeles has a reputation of being a difficult location to build, but it will not be a difficult process this time around.
Does it feel like things are moving quickly to you?
It feels like lots are getting cleared. It definitely feels like the debris cleanup is moving along. As far as other things, maybe not so much.
Erica Fixdoll's family has lived here since 1978.
Now we're looking at, prefabs, 2-bedroom instead of the 4-bedroom.
But with building cost and permit fees, they, like so many neighbors, call the process
painful, confusing.
As construction begins, the Lopes family plans to move back within 10 months, a sign of hope for many.
This is going to be back. I mean, this is our contribution, and I know everyone else can do the same.
The mayor says she's looking into those permits and fees. Meantime, the County Board of Supervisors yesterday approved a unified permitting authority to help with Eaton fire recovery efforts. But again, just so many people optimistic here to see construction again. Reporting Pacific Palisades, Matthew Seedorf, Fox 11 News.
911 emergency, police or paramedics. Someone breaking my house, stairs downstairs. Open the door, and I heard him hitting the door.
That's the sound of a brave 9-year-old girl who called 911. Coming up tonight, how she helped police find the person suspected of breaking into her home. Plus, FBI agents now getting involved after someone damaged a Tesla charging station in the Pacific Northwest.
And let's head to Phoenix, Arizona, where I will be talking weather-wise, something that's going to happen there tomorrow that has only happened 4 other times.
Welcoming and energetic atmosphere. I just love the vibe of it all.
Also coming up tonight, a mistake landed one Arizona State University student in the middle of international sports culture. Tonight, he's sharing the life lessons he's learned. Tonight, the FBI is investigating damage to a Tesla supercharger in Washington. The vandalism happened in a Target parking lot in Lacey, just east of Olympia. Lacey police say they got 911 calls about loud noises at the station just after 1 o'clock yesterday morning. When they arrived at the scene, they found one of the 12 chargers had been destroyed. A mother says she and her family were visiting this area from Florida, and they were shocked by what happened.
We were looking for the Tesla chargers. We couldn't see it, so we were surprised.
Lacey police said the FBI say they're reviewing security footage to see exactly what happened. An emergency court hearing was held today connected to a lawsuit over President Trump's refugee ban. The International Refugee Assistance Project, which filed the suit, is accusing the federal government of not complying with an injunction issued by a Seattle judge to restore the U.S. refugee admissions program and allow the entry of refugees who were conditionally approved before Trump took office. The government denies the accusation, saying it's waiting for clarification from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals to determine the government's next steps.
The government swiftly sought the Ninth Circuit's clarification because we believe that the Ninth Circuit is the court in the best position to interpret its own order. We are hopeful that the court will soon give clarity on this question.
It's been more than a month since the district court ruled on the injunctions, and the plaintiffs claim the government has made no action to abide by the rules. A new waiver allows the federal government to fast-track border wall construction in Southern California. Yesterday, the Department of Homeland Security issued an environmental regulations waiver for the project. The Trump administration says this will help to cut through bureaucratic delays in building barriers along the southern border. Critics, though, worry the waiver will allow the government to skip evaluating how the project affects the environment. In Colorado, 8 people arrested during a campus protest over the war in Gaza have now filed a lawsuit. That suit claims campus police officers and other law enforcement violated the constitutional rights of peaceful protesters. Last year, pro-Palestinian activists gathered on the Auraria campus in Denver. That campus houses 3 separate universities. Police arrested dozens of protesters, including students, professors, and community members. Plaintiffs in this case are seeking economic damages, compensatory damages, and punitive damages. And Auraria campus administrators issued a statement on that lawsuit that says, in part, quote, "We will be prepared to respond accordingly if and when we are served. Our priority continues to be transparency, accountability, and the safety and well-being of the Auraria campus community." In Idaho, Brian Kohberger was back in court today, part of a 3-day hearing as Kohberger's defense team fights to strike a slew of evidence from the trial and get the death penalty taken off the table. Fox 13's AJ Janavel has more tonight on the tense exchanges between the defense and the judge.
Accusations he made in there are very concerning. The kinds of accusations, if true, that would get people disbarred.
Brian Kohberger's defense team continues to allege the state has cell phone records that would show the defendant's location around the time of the murders. The state told the judge they never got the records, but the defense is not buying it.
What's the evidence of that, counsel?
The evidence has been in the practice that I've learned from people that I've worked with.
You're giving me that testimony now?
I'm not giving you testimony. I'm answering the court's question.
Okay, but you've made some serious accusations against the state of hiding evidence, and yet you've provided no factual basis, zero, that evidence existed for them to be able to obtain it in December.
The defense worked to poke holes in the state's case throughout the day, including questioning if Brian Kohberger had control over his own Amazon account, where the state claims Kohberger purchased a knife like the one used in the killings.
From an expert that says that Amazon doesn't work exactly that way. And that's the problem, that when it is represented as a click, that indicates to the average person that he sat at a desk and clicked and made a purchase when there's a lot more to that.
And maybe I'm completely out to lunch, but as I understand it, to buy something on Amazon, you got to put it in your shopping cart and hit purchase. Am I wrong about that?
No, that is a step, but how it gets in your cart and what items get in your cart really has to do with the whole model and the ecosystem of the way that Amazon works.
And that was Fox 13's AJ Janavel reporting for us tonight. The judge in this case has not said how quickly a written ruling could be issued on this matter. Kohberger's trial is set to begin in August.
So it's warming up in Phoenix way too fast this year. In fact, the high temperature was 98 degrees. There were only 4 other times that we've hit 100 degrees in the Phoenix area before May 1st. And tomorrow is going to be that 5th time. Again, 98 today, going up to a high of 100 degrees tomorrow. And boy, the average high temperature this time of the year is in the 80s. Now, meanwhile, we take you to Los Angeles. Taking a look at Santa Monica Beach. Boy, doesn't it look glorious? Average high temperature there, 72, but instead 10 degrees above average. And to the city by the bay, the city of San Francisco, typically at this time of the year, 63 degrees. Today, brilliant sunshine at 71 degrees. Seattle had a little bit of a milky, cloudy scene, but no rain. The high was 60 when the average high is 58 degrees. Tomorrow, plentiful rain showers in that area. Meanwhile, other notable numbers, 73 degrees in Reno. How about 89 degrees in Las Vegas? It is now 63 in Salt Lake City as well as Denver, Colorado. So take a look at this. We do have clouds offshore off the west coast pounding up against the Pacific Northwest, taking its rain showers more into Crouse Mountain area of Vancouver and the park. Meanwhile, this rain will move into the Seattle area on Thursday, and even a little bit of sleet around the Olympic Mountains and the Cascade Range. And the clouds continue. You'll see this. Look at your Friday. We still have clouds over the Pacific Northwest, that northwestern quadrant of the state of California. And these clouds shear off towards the Bay Area on Thursday and Friday, and also make a presence known across Southern California. All these clouds slip into the Phoenix area over the weekend, so it'll bring down the temperatures by then, but not until then. Meanwhile, as far as precipitation is concerned, about 1/3 of an inch of rain is expected from tomorrow through Sunday in the Seattle area. No rain throughout the state of California except that northwestern corner right there around the Eureka and Crescent City area. So the forecast, this is what we're calling for. Phoenix, 100 degrees tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday before those temperatures become into the 90s. Alex?
Okay, Roberta, thank you. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, it's a mistake one Arizona State University student will never forget. Tonight, how boarding the wrong boat gave him the opportunity of a lifetime.
911 emergency, police or paramedics. There's someone breaking in my house. I heard them say, open the door, and I heard him hitting the door.
That call from a 9-year-old girl in Southern California alerted first responders about someone breaking into her home. This happened early Friday morning in the Orange County community of Westminster.
A 9-year-old was able to get upstairs and get her hands on a cell phone and call 911. The father was able to arm himself with pepper spray, defend himself, and then physically drag the suspect out of the house, and the suspect took off on foot.
And eventually, police officers found that suspect in a neighbor's yard, and he was arrested. Finally, tonight, it's a wrong turn one Arizona State University student will never forget. Fox 10's Kenzie Beach explains how boarding the wrong boat during a trip to London put the student on a path to sports fandom.
The 21-year-old is a double major in ASU's Honor College with plans for an international history cruise, but boarding the wrong boat created a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It's something out of a movie. An entire boat filled with South End United fans, the England Football Club making a playoff push. Amongst the passionate South End fans, 21-year-old Evan Johnston, an ASU student from Mesa, Arizona.
I was out of my element.
The double finance and economics major had plans to peacefully cruise the Thames River and see London's historic sites. Accidentally boarding the wrong boat made for an experience of a lifetime.
It was just incomparable. Like a bunch of dudes that were singing chants, drinking a lot, and just having a good time.
And the fun didn't stop there. Fans like Andy Ward took him under his wing, finding him a ticket to the game, teaching him the ways of England's Shrimper fans. With a new jersey on the way, Evan's first game won't be his last.
Welcoming and energetic atmosphere. I just love the vibe of it all. And so now I'm really dedicated to the team. I mean, I'm going to go to some more games in the coming weeks.
A simple mistake has changed the ASU Honors College student forever. The team welcoming him back next weekend for a private stadium tour and a chance to meet the players.
Being a South End fan till I die now. So that's me.
Johnston will return here to the Valley come May with a new South End United jersey, a forever fan, and new friends in the UK. In Phoenix, Kenzie Beach, Fox 10 News.
That is fantastic. An unforgettable boat ride for sure. Have a great night.